And welcome to the Writers Live, place where you get the sight, sounds, tastes of my particular Writers Live. I had to think about it. And where you get the truth. Where's my pen? No. Subscribe if you haven't already. Punch the like button and tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on one unbelievably killer, exciting video. And God knows how exciting they are. Here's something. It's a little dusty. First of all, happy Memorial Day, especially to all those who have served and put their life on the line for us so that I'm able to make these videos, without any problem, without anybody jumping down my back and arresting me or whatever. And kudos out to my grandfather, who was a hero, captain in World War II, and my nephew, Stephen, who fought in Afghanistan, and one of my best brothers, Kevin Ryan, whose daughter is currently doing like her third tour and I believe is a captain, and she's presently in Iraq. Thank you for your service. I would like to say that I would have loved to have had the opportunity to serve in the military, but I know, having gone to military school, I know that, like, I'm, as much as I am fascinated by military things and World War II and things like that, I'm not cut out for a military thing because I don't like people telling me what to do. So I would more rather be like the reporter following them and being embedded with them. And I haven't actually done that, although I've been to a bunch of dangerous places to report about them. I haven't quite gone that far yet. Maybe. Actually, I hope I don't have to. But things, the way they're going, the way Mr. Biden's going, and this whole thing in Russia, who knows what's going to happen. Anyway, I was going to show you. This is like a diagram of my heart. Can you see it? Shows where there's a little plaque. Nothing much, though. And anyway, it's kind of neat. You can't see it, so I'm not going to bother with that. I'm not going to waste your times. So the whole not being the type to be told what to do is kind of thematic of what I'm about to talk about. So yesterday I put up a post. It was just a stupid post about, like, I showed a bunch of the books and novellas and stories that I've had published just in 2023 alone, and I put like "F traditional woke publishing system," because it is very woke now, and I think it's more based on the boxes you check off, than it is a meritocracy. How good your manuscript is. They don't care how good your manuscript is. Actually, they really haven't for a long, long time. It's just been like, is this marketable? And now it's not only is it marketable, but is this woke enough? And is this, all the garbage that's going on, in all of mainstream media. But anyway, be that as it may. But kind of my little post kind of hit a nerve. Like on LinkedIn, it's already got like almost 2,000, impressions, which is, I think, the most I've ever gotten in LinkedIn over a period of a few hours. But it just amazes me. I mean, things happen in your life, right, that you can't control. 99% of us, of people of working age, need to have a job to pay the bills, stuff like that. You're gonna have to pay for a roof over your house. You're gonna have to pay, for your energy. You're gonna have to pay for all that stuff, for food. If you don't eat, you're not gonna live. You get what I'm saying? Can't control death. Can't control taxes. You can't control it when your water heater breaks and you're left with a cold shower. Which right now, considering my lack of relationships, cold shower might do me some good. I digress. But anyway, but there's shit that happens all the time that you just can't control or whatever. You have no control over it. And for the longest time in the publishing industry, we had no, as writers, we had zero control of our futures. Zero. Zip. And I'm old enough because I started 25 years ago. I was still, and I talk about this, this is not the first time I've spoken about this, but like I was still embedded in that 1960s, 70s, 80s model of you hand your manuscript into an agent, he or she goes over it, tells you if it's good enough, and then they're going to suggest a bunch of edits, which is the first mistake. That takes a few months, and then they send it out to some editors that they know and have a relationship with, hopefully. Um, I was lucky my first time out because I had a really good New York City agent who was friends with certain editors who at the time were publishing Harlan Coben and Don Winslow, and this guy in particular really loved what became The Innocent. So I got my start like right out of writing school, right? Um, but as good as that sounds, and they gave me a lot of money, but as good as that sounds, for the most part, it doesn't make up for the the tons and tons and tons of nights I just rolled around sleepless, worrying that I wouldn't get another book contract and worrying that my agent was going to like my book or an editor wasn't going to like my book or that they weren't going to market it properly or all those things that you just have no control over. And it went on like that for ages. And I arguably lost my second marriage because of it. I was just a hot mess. Um, but then she took me back and robbed me again. So, I think there was a little bit of an agenda there both times. But again, that's for another video. I shouldn't say that, I mean, no one put a gun to my head. I entered that relationship again, um, knowing exactly what I was doing. And I didn't have to, but I did. And anyway, okay, enough of that. But in the 2020s, if you're a slave to that old traditional publishing system, you are out of your mind. Not in the digital age, and not in the traditional system is being replaced, and it has been being replaced for about 15 years now. We are in the middle of this transition, as Dean Wesley Smith would say. And still, we have writers who totally believe in the old traditional system. And listen, if you want to go that way, go that way. But also spend your time building up your own list for your own publishing company. That's my advice. You might call me a hypocrite because you might say, like, come on, Vin, you work with Down and Out Publishing, you work with Suspense Publishing. I do, and I am. It's a personal choice of mine. Why do I do it? Okay, so I have a bit of a sentimental streak. I really like the people who run both publishing companies. John Rabb at Suspense and Eric and Lance at Down and Out. And like right now, like I've just been reading only Down and Out books, the stuff that they put out, because I really, really like them. I really like their choices. And I don't know about Suspense. I'm pretty sure Suspense doesn't care about any kind of political whatever is going on. And in other words, that both companies are not, they don't lean woke or any of that crap. They just, they publish really good mysteries. They don't care if you're purple or whatever you do behind closed doors in your bedroom. They don't give a shit. They just want really, really good thrillers. That's all they care about. Okay, so would I be better off not working with them in terms of my finances? Yeah, of course. But I write so much for my Bear Media label that it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I make up for it big time. And like I said, 80% of my material I write for my own list, and the remaining 20% goes to like these other crime imprints. So there you go, But the main thing is, I'm not a slave. I'm not like, I sleep really well at night now. okay, so I don't have a relationship, but I will eventually, and I'm not going to ruin it because I'm just a hot mess over whether or not my next manuscript is going to make it or whatever. I don't even give a shit about the ranks anymore. I don't give a shit about you know if it's a book bub or not. I don't even apply for book bubs anymore. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. I just care about writing and publishing, and that's it. The faster and the better I get, the more I'm going to put out. That's all I care about. Um, you know, I look at my number. I mean, I do look at what I look at what I sell almost every day just because it's fun. Like I've said before, it's fun looking at like the list of books and what's selling and all that sort of stuff. But really, you shouldn't even do that. You should look at your numbers once every quarter, just like a business person goes over his or her numbers with their accountant every quarter. And you figure out what's weak and what's not weak and what's working and what's not working, whatever. All right. Anyway, that's all I got to say on this beautiful Memorial Day. I guess no one can complain, at least in upstate New York, because the weather's been gorgeous. And also, I'm healing, as you can say. When they started talking about sepsis and maybe losing my arm from here down, you know, I would have been like this, I guess. It was worrisome. Um, don't tell my mother; she would freak out. All right, somebody's chiming in. Let's see who we got. Big Philly. God bless America. Right on, Big Philly. Many good things about Indy, but the best thing is no woke gatekeepers. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more, Big Philly. You are your own gatekeeper. I am my own gatekeeper. You alone own your own key. I own my own key. It's the same reason I believe in Bitcoin. It's the same reason I keep all my money in Bitcoin and not in the bank. You see how the banks are failing and how the dollar is failing and how inflation is just killing us. I believe Bitcoin will become uh, the standard, the monetary standard. I mean, that's for another video, but Bitcoin is freedom. Indie publishing is freedom. Freelance writing, free, is freedom. All right, I think I've made my point. All right, I got a little more to do. Then I'm going to open a cold one, and I'm going to go to Dee Dee's tonight because I know they'll be open and there'll be a good crowd there, and they all read my books. All right, you guys. I will get to you tomorrow, God willing. Ciao, ciao.